I'll do.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, world. Happy Wednesday.
We're down.
I love it. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for asking. Great to see you. Cindy, is this the first time we've met? No.
Well,
Oh, of course not.
yes, kind of, because I never really got to talk to you personally, but I did Rob's very first bestseller publishing challenge when they were going to just shut us down for 2 weeks.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite story to tell. Yeah.
And I ended up publishing my book, and then I kind of set things aside for a while because I got involved in some other stuff. And so now I'm promising myself I'm going to get back on it. And then I signed up for the speaker thing. What?
Ah, love it. Yeah. Love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, Rob's, that challenge that he did there, the first one during COVID I remember that so clearly.
It was phenomenal. I mean,
yeah, because that's really how he started, like, the virtual workshops, right? I mean, that was a challenge. That was like that first one was actually like 5 or 6 days.
No, it was 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah, he was only going to do 7. And then he
Can't find my
he did 10
cup.
days. It was phenomenal.
I completely remember all of that.
You know, and I'm going to tell you, Amy, because of that, and I met, I saw you on that and everything, and how you were sending your book out and stuff. And I thought, anybody who over delivers like this, you gotta do, there's no hesitation to do the program. So when this was presented to me, I just felt like God was telling me, yeah, here you go.
That's
this
amazing.
is it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because I knew you guys would over deliver on this too. So here I
am. Amazing. Well, thank you. And thanks for being here. Everyone, thank you for being here. We're still letting some folks in here, but we're going to get started because it's 3:33. And if anyone, I don't know, that's got to be something lucky, right? 333, it's got to be. Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Like, no? Okay.
I see 1111 all the time too.
Oh gosh. Okay. I like that too. My brother's always into like the number thing. I don't know anything about it. I just roll with it. So whatever he tells me, I pretty much believe. So anyway, awesome. Well, thank you. Happy to have y'all here. We're going to talk about something that I love so much. And it's not just necessarily AI, but just to provide a little bit of context here. I think about how long I've actually been using AI, and it is like way longer than most people even knew what it was, right? And back then, like with the agency, we didn't really even call it AI. It was like there were scripts basically that we could plug into, and it would spit out like a bunch of information, which was always really cool and fun, and then ChatGPT kind of came along, which, since it was open AI, really just publicly exploded AI. And I don't use ChatGPT. I use another one that I'll show you here in just a second. But AI is AI. There's different nuances involved with it. It's only going to get better as we continue to roll forward. I know a lot of marketers sometimes are a little leery of AI in the fact that they think it's going to replace their job. I don't come to anything in life with that mindset. So I'm just like, I just embrace it, right? So I'm like, oh, how can we do this? How can we do that? How can we save time here, right? So that's what I'm constantly looking at it for. And I was on a run the other day where my best ideas come, and I was just thinking about you all, and I thought, okay, for real though, how can we use AI for the speaking business? Like, how can we, in a way that's like meaningful and helpful. And so we started kind of testing some things out, and it's been pretty incredible what we've been able to find. And there's lots of things. I'm going to show you a few things, but there's lots that you can do with it. I think if you really go in with the mindset of it being a tool, an assistant for you, and then kind of just start there and play around with it, I think you'll see the power in which you can get information very, very quickly. For me, at least for the company, I think time is our biggest thing when we're working every single day. As the team's working, I'm always looking at ways to save time for the team, because the faster we can produce things, the faster we can get results for you all, and do all the good stuff that we want to do. So before 2 years ago, it would take Misal and I probably 2 weeks to source stages for you all. And that was just one speaker, so now we can produce them much quicker, and we can get them much quicker just because of technology and just lists and stuff that we subscribe to. But also AI, I see in that realm will be a piece of what we do as well in finding stages. We're not going to necessarily go down that rabbit hole today on that end, but we'll talk about how you can use it on your end in things that you're doing for your business and your speaking business. Sound good? Yes, I'm here. Okay, cool. So I might grab a couple of you and we'll just like go through examples. I think it's really cool to see. So one of the things that I use, I'm gonna share my screen here. The tool that I use is Jasper, and I've been using Jasper for a very long time. When I had my agency, we've been using Jasper for a long time. Hold on, let me give you something to look at. So this is Jasper. And Jasper is exactly what I've been talking about. It's an AI tool that helps you write different things. Really, what I like about Jasper versus ChatGPT is Jasper was really made for the marketing and business world. ChatGPT is open source AI, so you really have to know the prompts for ChatGPT, whereas Jasper, and we'll look at Jasper Chat in just a second, but Jasper Chat, it's more conversational, so it's just a little bit more user friendly, and again, it's more built for businesses. So there's tons of things you can do with Jasper. I'm not going through the whole thing. We're going to go through Jasper Chat here in a second. I'll show you what you can do for the speaking world, but just kind of giving you an overview of the different things that you can do. You can write different marketing content. You can create blog post outlines. You can also create a blog post. And so here it is, one shot blog post. So you can just give it what it is that you want, and it'll write your blog post for you. Of course, you got to go back and, fact check and make sure that it's saying what you want it to say. But the better you are giving information, the better it is. I recently had something published on Forbes, not a full blog post, but that was a piece of that. I knew what I wanted to say, so I said it in normal Amy Dix language, and then I had them rewrite it. I had Jasper rewrite it, and it came out much better. And I guess Forbes liked it too because they published it. So anyway, this is Jasper. I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to show you some cool stuff that you can do as a speaker. Well, I was just playing around with this right before we started today, and just to kind of have something initially pulled up. One of the things, this is just me, and you think by now I would have figured this out, but I hate my bio. I don't know why. I just like, it needs to be rewritten. And if you go into my Google Docs, it's like, I have a whole folder called Amy Dix Bio. And there's like 7 or 8 iterations because I rewrite it all the time because I never really like it. And I'm always rewriting it based on like who I'm sending it to, so it's like most relevant for whoever I'm sending it to, because nobody wants the full Amy Dix bio. Like, that is boring and nobody got time for all that, right? So anyway, so I just pulled one of my bios here and I said, I copied it in. I just said, this is what I said. Can you act like Tony Robbins and rewrite this bio to reflect that Amy is a sought after keynote speaker? Let me just kind of show you what it looked like beforehand. So I just pulled it from here. Whoops, this is just a page on my website. So I pulled it from here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but international speaker, two-time best-selling author, positive psychology, inspires people to live life on a different level. Then it talks about my mom and her terminal brain cancer and how that transpired into my speaking and then led to my book. And then it just kind of says, she now brings this message to the stage, creating a gripping experience of emotion, catapulting happiness and challenging the chaos of today's world. All right, just giving context. So I threw that into Jasper, but I said, act like you're Tony Robbins and rewrite this for me, right? Because I wanted it to reflect more. It's a lot about my book. And while that's fine, I wanted it to be more like inspirational about like Amy is a speaker, right? Like hire Amy as a keynote speaker. So y'all can do this too. Just ask, and I'll give you a link here in a second. You can get some free trial with Jasper. So anyway, so it says, can you act like Tony Robbins, rewrite this darn thing, right? I had to, by the way, I had to ask it a couple different times because something to know about Jasper is like it gets smarter as you continue using it. So like it really, the first time I started using it for language for Authority Speakers Agency, it kind of understood what we did, but it didn't really understand what we did. And the more I use it, the more dialed in it is to understanding what questions I'm asking for Authority Speakers Agency. So I just giving context here because I had just done something similar for one of our speakers who is a cancer survivor and talks about social emotional learning curriculum, right? So what it does is it thought that that was me, right? Because it builds upon the knowledge. And so it threw that into my bio. And I was like, oh, that's not me. That's not me. That's somebody way cooler than me, but it's not me, right? So that's one of our other speakers. So it kind of spit something out and I just said, no, can you try again without, the Llama app or survivor information? Because that wasn't about me. So then this is what came out. Amy Dix is an award-winning international speaker, 2 times best-selling author and positive psychology practitioner. After her mother was diagnosed with terminal illness, Amy embarked on a journey of self-discovery to unlock the power of positivity and happiness in her life. Through her book, 7 More Days, blah, blah, blah. She has moved millions around the world and empowered them to live life differently. With her captivating performances and thought-provoking message, Amy has become one of the most sought after keynote speakers in the industry, inspiring others to strive for courage and joy. Boom, right? There's a couple things I would change because it's not all like completely accurate. So there would be a couple of just nuances that I would change so that it is absolutely accurate. We're not here to like lie about who we are, right? We're just here to like inspire and move and create action and really like get some really great copy around who we are. So we don't typically write y'all's bios when you come into the program. We write your speech description, but not typically your bio. So we usually use what you have. Sometimes we got to trim it up a little bit. Sometimes we'll make a few suggestions, but this is a way to get really great information. This is just one way to use it. You can use this too. Like if I really wanted to niche down, I would say like, can you write this bio? If I was working with women's associations, I would say, can you act like Tony Robbins and write this bio so that it is geared towards women empowerment or women who have faced tragedy, or tragedy is not the right word for me, but women who have faced complications in life or whatever. That's not the right word either. So this is why I need Jasper. I need to get him to give me the right words, right? So you can really then get it really super hyper focused on, I have a mosquito in here, on who it is that you're talking to. Okay, so that's one way you can use it. I just thought it was super cool. All right, from there, what's really cool is down here, it gave me a bunch of like different prompts. One of them was, compile a list of Amy's past keynote speeches. And I thought, yeah, let's do that. I don't even know what that's going to look like. So I clicked on that little prompt and then it came up with all these past speeches I've given. And I was like floored, completely floored. It gave the year that I gave the speech. So it's crazy. And so then I was like, okay, this is really interesting. I'll show you where you can use this in a moment, because it's not for yourself. Like this doesn't really help me, I guess, unless somebody's asking, what are your past speeches? Then yeah, I could do it this way. But then I said, just out of curiosity, I said, summarize the key points of the 2019 Power of Positivity and how it can transform your life speech. And then boom, it gave me a summary of that speech. I was okay. Then I started thinking, okay, as a speaker, how is this helpful? How is this helpful? I mean, you can do it for yourself and that's great, but like, this doesn't really help me. Again, unless somebody just asked me, like, what are your past speeches? How else can you use this? Not for yourself, but how else do you think you can use this? Any thoughts? Here's how I might use it. If you've got some ideas, let me know. But here's how I might use it is I would, and I want to do this with someone. So think of like an industry leader, somebody in your industry that is a speaker. I would do this and I would say, okay, find so-and-so's past keynote presentations. So now I'm wondering, and I haven't done this yet, you could ask what events maybe that they gave that keynote on or at. And then you can go, oh, that's a possible event for me, right? And then from there, you could also ask it to summarize one of the keynotes so you can kind of understand what it is that they talk about and how that is like related to you or unrelated to you, or getting ideas for your own speech. I mean, it's really limitless, but that's kind of where I might use something like this. Does anyone have like an industry leader or somebody who's a speaker in their industry? I mean, they have to be known. I mean, they don't have to be that well known. I'm not well known. I mean, I'm nobody, and it pulled all this up. So, you know, I guess just somebody who speaks on the regular. Anyone know of anyone in their industry?
I'm just the opposite. I don't know anybody who talks about what I'm going to talk about. So,
what's your topic, Cindy?
Well, funny you should ask. So I lost my sister early on in life, and then I I had a real hard time with it because I was a teenager. But when a few years later, I started having an open vision of somebody who actually died, and then it turned out to be it happened to be a vision of it at the actual time it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So and then my book is called A Thin Veil, a look at life and death through supernatural experiences. So that just turns out to not be the first time I have a supernatural experience, but the word supernatural kind of like puts some people off. And it's whether if you're talking to church people, like I submitted my book to a book and Bible store, and they go, oh, wow, you're a good writer, but no, we can't carry that here. Mm-hmm. So I'm on the fringe. And so but if people read it, they talk to me and they hear about my experiences, it's very comforting to them. It's something everybody's going to die. So some people are and I just happened to go look on, there's a Facebook group that I signed up with about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And at the time I did, there was only 43,000 people on it. Mm-hmm. And today I checked it just to see, there's 599,000 people on this Facebook group.
Yeah, okay.
So
well,
is there an interest? There's an interest.
Yeah, that
people are looking for some proof to affirm it. So sure. I'm throwing this out at you.
Yeah, so that confirms your scenario, what you originally said was a concern, right? Was that there might not be an audience. So I don't want to go too far down that. So but what you said was really key in providing context to what you see here, right? Which is, so you said, I don't know anyone who speaks on this. Well, in fact, I just said, who is a well-known speaker that talks about supernatural experiences? And they provided Tony Robinson, well known for his talks about supernatural experiences. He's traveled around the world chronicling unexplained phenomena, et cetera, et cetera. So you can read that. So then from there, you might go, okay, that's great. So what conferences has Tony Robinson spoken at? Let's see what happens here. Okay, so TEDx, the Conscious Life Expo, International Symposium on Transpersonal Research. He's also made appearances on podcasts. Okay, so if this was me, this is what I would do. I would take that information, Cindy, and I would say, okay, great. That is a really cool like starting point. I would start looking, especially in the scenario that you're in, I would start looking at those conferences. I would start looking at themes. I would start looking at the different topics and breakout sessions that they're doing. I would start reading those websites to understand the verbiage and the language that they use. Maybe they don't use supernatural, what you're saying. So as you kind of build your message, right? So as you build your message, now you're kind of pulling from some of that. So that's what I would do.
So mine also is like, I'm trying to figure out how to give it as a secular message, but it, what I saw Jesus, receiving somebody's spirit in real time when it was happening. I just didn't know it was real time till later.
Were you on the VIP call in February on the workshop? What? Were you on the VIP call?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
Erica's my coach.
Yeah, but I remember talking about this from the February workshop. I think if that was okay. Yeah. So and Erica can help you through that, and I can help you through that as well. And if I want to go down that road, I could say, how do you make a religious, we'll just use this word for right now, religious message more secular?
Okay.
Let's see what Jasper says. One way to make a religious message more secular is to focus on the shared values between different belief systems rather than emphasizing differences. Explore more similarities. Make sure to explain I'm skipping around, terms or concepts that may be unfamiliar. The last part was just strive for mutual understanding and respect among different worldviews. So anyway, so that all of that we just did in 5 minutes, I think really like helps shape your speech already. It's already kind of starting to shape just by asking Jasper some questions. My best friend Jasper. Okay. So that's one way you can do it. Let's see. You could also create, if you're just starting on your speech or you want to rewrite your speech, then you could even provide. Yes, Laura. Sorry, I didn't know that came up there. Let me finish my thought. Then it's all you, Laura. You could also provide an outline. Ask Jasper to kind of provide an outline. You gotta guide him a little bit, but that could help as well. Laura, what's your question?
Hey, I'm sorry.
How
are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Great.
So my question is, does it make sense for me, since you're talking about presentations, I started thinking about conferences that to be a presenter at conferences that I'm part of that organization. And I'm wondering whether, because that takes so long, like, you have to plan the whole thing. It's not just a 20-minute thing. It's a 3-hour commitment, but it gives me more exposure. And I was wondering what your thoughts were about that.
So are you saying that you would be doing like a workshop, like a 3-hour workshop?
Yeah, anywhere. There's one that I was looking at on addiction, and that was a 3 or 6-hour workshop. There are some that are 2-hour workshops. Some of them are 1-hour workshops. And I'm thinking in terms of you know, exposure, it's a lot of time and energy, but at least it targets people. And does that make sense to you that I should
Yeah,
do
I mean,
that
it
or
makes a
not?
ton of sense. I think we book people for workshops all the time because I mean, think about, I guess you got to think about your goal, but think about the audience in that room, right? Think about the audience when they get exposed to you for 20 minutes versus when an audience gets exposed to you for 3 hours. I mean, obviously there's going to be, hopefully there's breaks, by the way, in that 3 hours. But yeah, so you really start to cultivate these really meaningful relationships when you get that much face time with your target audience. So I think, yes, if you have the content to support it, you could use Jasper to create your content.
Really? So do you just go to the Jasper website, you just put in information, it just works like that? I mean, is that what you were doing?
Yeah, here, I'm going to give you guys, because I set this up solely so you could get a free trial. So there's a link that gets you a free trial to it. But so you can click on that, but let's do this. Can create an outline. Give me just in like 4 words what your workshop would be about.
Wait, could you just tell me where the link is? Because I
In the
have,
chat.
all right, in the chat, because there it is. Okay, great, thank you. Because I'm on my phone, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't get to my computer right now, and we have people here, and I didn't leave early enough to get to the office. So
That's fine. I can post it after the fact in Mighty Networks too. So
okay, thank you.
so I'll do that. So if you can't grab it right now,
I just did a screenshot. So
perfect. So create an outline for what's your topic? What, like in 4 words, what would you do a workshop on?
I don't
In
even
4
think
words.
in 4 words. I don't even know what
Okay,
4 words are.
in less than 10.
So it's either going to be on accidental hypnosis. It's going to be either about getting people into the, school and teaching them, helping them have a new career doing hypnotherapy, or it's going to be about bringing people into weight groups or sleep, or getting unstuck, and any of the group programs that I have or will be putting together.
Okay, so
But mostly it's hypnosis, and I've done some on addiction before, but it's a lot of work, and it's very different than, I think even doing a presentation is hard, but doing the workshop, you have experts there. So as a licensed therapist, the people that I'm talking to are licensed or in those fields, and they know a lot, and you have to use their lingo, and you have to have,
yeah.
all of those. Here's what my I don't know what the right terms are even, but I don't,
gonna-
like that.
I'm going to stop you right there just because I
Good.
think a lot of people do the same thing that you're doing right now, which is
Talking ourselves
you're
out of it.
telling me all of the reasons why you're not qualified. Right?
No, I'm
You're telling me
qualified.
all these other experts, like,
No, I'm
you're
qualified. It's just a lot of work. I'm
okay.
qualified.
Okay.
It's just a
Okay.
lot of work.
And I agree. You're beyond qualified. And yes, it's a lot of work. So you really got to determine, is that part of your goals? Like, what are your goals? It's a rhetorical question, but like, what are your goals? Is a workshop a piece of that? Or do you just want like the 20-minute keynote? I just talked to, I'm just going to give you an example. I talked to a really big tech conference yesterday, and they have an opportunity. They've got basically there's 2 opportunities for main stage keynote presentation, which would be 30 minutes, or you could have a 60 or 90-minute workshop, but it's a smaller group, right? So because they're breakouts and there's more breakouts. So it's interesting because as I was talking to our speaker today on which one he preferred, it depends on his goals, right? So for him, it made more sense to do a shorter presentation on the main stage as opposed to a longer presentation in a breakout. But I think that that's pretty individualized. However, we do book people for workshops all the time because it is a great way, especially if you have a business on the other end of that, to get in front of that and build more business. So to go back to what we were originally doing was
Sorry, and thank you.
no, this is great. What we were originally doing with you was the whole, like, this is a lot, right? Is that like, this is a lot to put a
Yeah.
workshop together. And so it is. And like, if you just sit with a blank piece of paper and pen, you might go, I don't even, where am I? Even though you know all this stuff, it's like, but where do I even start, right? So this could just give you guidance and give you an idea. So in about 3 seconds, it spit out just this outline for a workshop on how to start a business in hypnosis. I don't know if that's the exact term that you would use, but here you go. And now it kind of breaks it down for you. And I bet if I said, can you talk to us about creating an engaging experience for clients? And can you provide 45 minutes on that? You could say, yeah, 45, I think I could talk 45 minutes. So you add 45 minutes to all of these, and now you have a 3-hour workshop, right? But it doesn't feel so overwhelming because now you're kind of chunking it down. So that's another way that you could use it. And that was the perfect example for that and how that rolled right into it. You could also do this for a keynote. Somebody give me their topic, like a keynote presentation, but their topic in less than 4 words, if possible.
Resilience.
Resilience. Okay, perfect. Create an outline for a keynote speech on resilience, and let's dig deeper and identify the audience. Who's the audience?
People that need to be unstuck. People that are beating themselves up about mistakes they've made in their lives. That's the audience.
Yep. So who would the audience be for a conference, right? Like, I don't know that a conference would say, well, they might, but anyone who's stuck, come to this conference.
Mental health conference.
Okay, there we go. Hey, resilience for a mental health conference. Now we're getting more specific. Okay. Oh, what happened? Where'd you go, Jasper? Where'd you go? Create an outline for a keynote speech on resiliency for a mental health conference. Donovan, this is happening in like 2 days. I hope you already have your outline. I hope this is not the beginning of your outline for your speech that you're giving in 2 days.
No.
Okay. Just checking. No, I know you're fully locked and loaded and ready to go for that talk. Okay, so here we go. So this might be an outline for you for your speech. I don't think it's exactly like, I don't think I would take this exactly, but I think I would pull some ideas from it. You could also, from here, you can do your research, like Donovan's speaking in New York City, right? So like, what if we polled, give me statistics, I'm going to say mental health statistics for New York City. I don't know what this is going to do. Let's just see. What I'm hoping it does is give us, okay, here we go. Approximately 4.7 million adults in New York City reported mental illness. And this is great. It actually gives the source. More than 2 million reported serious thoughts of suicide. The average age for onset for a mental health disorder was around 24 years old. Perfect. I would integrate some of that into my speech, right? So now you can tailor to the audience. You have your speech, of course. But when you're speaking to certain audiences, like there are certain sections of my speech that I know that it's written for that audience and it gets changed every single time. And statistics are a really great place to do that. So that's just some ideas on how you can use it. Let's see. What else? You can do this. We've been testing this. This is not as great as I would hope that it is, but we've been testing. I think it's going to get better, but what conferences are happening in New York City in, let's just say, November for mental health? We showed this on our VIP. We did a workshop last week, I guess. Anyway, we had a group of VIPs on that, and so we showed this for them. And what I've noticed is this may get you started, and a lot of it is not correct data. So we're still testing. In fact, I'm trying to work with Jasper on some recommendations that they have, and specifically for us, for our industry, and how to ask that question, so that it is very dialed in for what we need. So, okay. Hi, Amy. I just want to say hi. Hi. Hey, love that you're doing this. I'm always exploring new AI helpers. Excited to see Jasper at work. Yeah, Jasper, again, I've been using Jasper for so long. And it's really, when in the marketing world, it's really, truly fantastic. Here's another, you guys, I just had this idea like off the top of my head, so I don't even know how to do this. So I don't know what this is going to look like. Let's see. Bear with me. Write a thank you note to an event organizer, thanking them for having me as their keynote speaker for this year's conference. I might have to say that a little differently. That's like a lot of, I can't think of the word, prepositional phrases, but anyway. Dear event organizer, I would just say, Sally. I would change this, right? So I wouldn't say, I want to thank you. I would just say, thank you so much for having me as the keynote speaker at this year's conference. I'm gonna ad lib, okay? Have how I would just change it up a little bit. It truly was my honor to be such an important part of an important, meaningful event, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Attending the conference was such a wonderful experience, and I enjoyed learning from your attendees and engaging with other mental health professionals. Remember, I said it gets smarter, so it remembers that we talked about mental health, so it's adding that in. The conversations that we had were invaluable, and I'm looking forward to carrying these learnings with me into my mark. Where I would say the conversations we had were invaluable, and you were a big part of making this industry change for the good. Like, that's how I would say it. Thank you again for considering. Oh, well, no, thank you for having me as your keynote speaker. It was truly a pleasure. So, you know, you rewrite it a little bit, but it gets the like writer's block out, right? Like, it gets it out like, okay, I got to write this thank you note. Where do I start? What am I going to say? So, you know, you don't want to necessarily use it verbatim, but it certainly gives you a starting point in developing.
Amy, so that
Listen,
was Jasper Chat, where you were just asking these questions. It's like a personal search engine for you.
Yep.
Right? I mean, would you say that?
Sort of. Search engine is indexing pages, right? So like Google is indexing pages. It's a little different than what AI does, but generally, that's probably too technical. So generally speaking, yes.
So I had, I think, I don't know, a few months ago, I tried a little 10-day trial or something. And I thought it was going to be like $99 a month or something to have Jasper. But I just went and looked at the pricing, and it was like on the low end, about 40.
Yeah, it may be the link that I sent you, because it is an affiliate link. So maybe you get a discount on it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I guess I don't know I don't know what their membership costs are anymore. I've had it for so long.
So I mean, I was going to ask you. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you do like an annual. Do you do a monthly? How do you do that?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. But I have no idea. I just don't even know. Sorry.
You don't even know.
I don't even know.
You're
I've
not
had it for so long. I've had
Oh,
Jasper
I
for so
see.
long. I don't know if it comes out monthly or if we pay an annual fee. I just don't
Maybe
even.
you're just grandfathered in.
Yeah, maybe a lifetime thing. Sylvia, yeah. Thanks, Cindy.
I think it's about $600 a year.
There you go.
Oh,
So if you pay it for the year, you can do
I
that.
haven't bought
Or
it,
you
but
can do the month.
I looked at it. I think it's $60 a month or $600 a year, something like that. So
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, but use the free trial. See what you can get out of it before you have to pay anything, and then you can
Okay.
decide if you want it or not. Right. So,
Yeah, thank
all
you.
right, y'all. So that's what I had for you guys today. So, if you have any other questions, certainly let me know. But AI, use it as a tool, as an assistant to help save you time. It doesn't. I just want to say it's not going to replace everything. It's not. You gotta verify and double check things as well. So, but it is a really great tool to kind of get you started. So if you want to check it out, I highly encourage you to check it out. Don't forget, Erica has
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Erica has open office hour calls on Tuesday. So any kind of questions that are related to your speech, stages, all that stuff, join Erica on Tuesday and she will work through all that with y'all. All right. All right, love and appreciate you guys. Happy Wednesday. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you next time.
See you next time.